Greetings and welcome back to the lesson. Today we are going to study communication between the auditor and client organization. Communication between the auditor and client organization. The topic is documentation and communication under the subject governance and compliance audit. So the lesson is on communication between the auditor and the client. Communication between the auditor and the client organization. Now, communication, as we all know, is a vital, important part of governance and compliance audit because it ensures smooth process and also successful outcome. And communication is a two-way street that requires an ongoing exchange of information and feedback between the auditor and the client organization at every stage of the audit. At every stage of the audit. The first stage of the audit is the pre-audit stage, or let me call it pre-audit communication. This communication begins way back before the audit commences. Prior to the audit, there has to be also communication. This is the initial phase that sets the stage for the entire audit. And it begins by establishing the engagement. This communication begins by establishing the engagement. There has to be communication before, and that starts by establishing the engagement. Right? The auditor and the client at this stage, they have to define the scope, the objectives, and also the terms of the audit. And this typically formalizes, is typically formalized in an engagement letter, which clarifies the responsibilities and also the expectations for both parties. Because the relationship between the auditor and the client organization, it's a contractual relationship. So at the pre-audit stage, the two must agree on the terms of the engagement, the objectives of the engagement, the scope of the engagement, and that is formalized in an engagement letter which clarifies what are the responsibilities, the obligations, and also the expectations of each party. So that is communication. Then there is also the information gathering. Apart from establishing the engagement, communication is important for the purpose of gathering information. Information gathering. It's not possible to gather information without communication. The auditor here communicates the list of documents and the data required from the client, such as the company's policies, procedures, risk assessments, previous audit reports, and so on. The auditors may also request access to key personnel for interviews. That is still communication. Then apart from information gathering, there is initial meetings. Initial meetings. Before commencement of the audit, the auditor and the client organization have to have initial meetings. The meeting could begin with what we call an entrance conference that is held with the client's leadership and key stakeholders. Here, the auditor in this meeting explains the audit methodology, the timeline, and how they plan to conduct fieldwork. And this is a crucial time for the auditor to gain a deep understanding of the organization's business, its environment, its governance structure, and so on. So that communication has to take place prior to the audit. So this is the first aspect. Then there is also communication during the audit. During the audit. Communication may take place during the audit, during the field work. Remember, we said that the two have to communicate throughout the stages of the audit. There's this stage we are calling field work. Communication during this phase is frequent and also critical for productive audits. Here, there may be need for regular updates. One, regular updates. Regular updates. The auditor provides regular status updates to the client's management, and this keeps everyone informed of progress, emerging issues, and any potential delays. So there has to be regular updates where the auditor regularly updates the client on the progress of the audit as the fieldwork continues. There may also be communication for the purposes of clarification and the questioning. The auditor may need clarification from the client. The auditor here actively seeks clarification on documents, clarification on processes, and also clarification on controls. And they may ask for additional evidence or even interviews to gain a more complete picture. So the client here must be responsive and provide accurate, timely information. So that is still communication between the auditor and the client. Then in number 3, during the audit, the auditor may communicate preliminary findings. Preliminary findings. Preliminary findings. The auditor discusses preliminary findings as they arise, rather than waiting until the end. Okay, the auditor may have findings which he should communicate early enough so that the client is made aware of what is happening as the audit progresses. And this allows the client to address issues promptly and also provide an opportunity for them to provide context or additional information that may change the auditor's perspective. This kind of communication also fosters a collaborative rather than an adversarial relationship, because the two must be in communication. Preliminary findings have to be communicated by the auditor to the client as the work progresses. Then there is also reporting. After preliminary findings, there is where the auditor communicates any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses or non-compliance issues. And this may be done verbally in a meeting, or it may be in form of writing. You understand? During the audit, after all, the fieldwork has begun and commences. We have regular updates, clarifications, and questioning. There is preliminary findings, then there could also be reporting. So that is during the audit or during fieldwork. Then there is also post-audit communication. After the report has been drafted, this is the audit report, then there may be communication even after that, what we call post-audit communication. Post-audit communication. Communication between the auditor and the client organization also takes place after the report has been drafted. And this is the final phase that focuses on the official reporting and follow-up, where there may be need to have what we call an exit conference. Exit conference. That is still a form of communication. Here the auditor holds a formal meeting with the management and those charged with the governance to present the draft audit report. And this is where the final findings, conclusions, and recommendations are discussed. And the client has an opportunity to ask questions, to challenge findings, and also provide a formal response to the report that has been drafted by the auditor. Exit conference. Then there is also the final report. Final report. The auditor issues the official audit report after the exit conference, where the report is presented to the management, and the management have challenged the report or provided their feedback to the findings. After incorporating what is discussed during the exit conference, the auditor then drafts a final report. The auditor issues the official audit report, which includes a clear, concise summary of the audit scope and findings, as well as actionable recommendations. And the report here should avoid jargon and should easily be understood by both the technical and the non-technical stakeholders. You understand? Are you following, candidates, the communication we are discussing here? Yes. Then, of course, it has to be follow-up. The report may have recommendations on what the management should do, and it does not stop at that. The auditor has to do follow-up and check if what recommendations were made have been effective. The auditor may follow up with the clients to ensure that the recommended corrective actions are being implemented, and this ongoing communication helps reinforce the value of the audit and also promote continuous improvement within the organization's governance framework. So that's all, candidates, for communication between the auditor and the client organization. In this lesson, we have categorized this communication into three. Pre-audit communication. This is what happens before the commencement of the audit. Then there is communication that takes place during the audit, during the field work. Then there is post-audit communication. This is after the report has been presented, after the auditor has issued the official report, which includes the scope and the findings and all that. There has to be still communication, where the auditor has a meeting with the management in an exit conference. The final report is presented and the management gives feedback and all that. Then there is also follow-up. So these are three stages: pre-audit communication, during the audit, post-audit communication. And that's all for our today's lesson on the communication between the auditor and the client organization. Bye-bye.